When should you buy a new car? They say the average person keeps a car approximately 6 years. They say the average modern car can last up to 12 years if maintained regular without any major repairs. So I would say my goal is to keep a car for 10 years. I would say if you wanted to use round numbers and you wanted to have a specific goal as one metric to measure when you should possibly get a new car, I would say every 10 years. When your car is approaching 10 years of age, that's when you should start to be in the market. Obviously, it all depends individual, your circumstance, your finances, your individual life. But I like to use general metrics to measure kind of what I should do or what I should expect. So I have a 4-year-old car. I have 150,000 miles on it. Age and mileage are two major metrics that determine the lifespan of your car. So I do have high mileage on my car because I'm a nomad. I live out of my car, and I've traveled up and down the East Coast several times over the course of the past 3 years or so. So my mileage may lower my life expectancy. Maybe instead of 10 years, only get 7. And again, the car won't die once it reaches 10 years old or 7 years old, but age and or mileage will affect how much money you may need to put in your car for upkeep, maintenance, or major issues. Everything has a lifespan. The average human lifespan is 80 years. And you should look at the car like the average car has a lifespan of 10 years. Most people only keep their car 6 years or less. So I think about that because I do get a little bit antsy now, and I just paid off my car. And I may get a new car. I mean, everything as long as it's below my means. But I like to give people some insight to specific numbers. Because life is not an exact science. However, you need a level of science to guide your decision-making process. A balance of both art and science is how you get to an informed place. Okay. What is science? Science is collecting data, studying it, and forming a conclusion. What is art? Art is up for individual interpretation and individual opinion and perspective. You want to balance the two. You want to balance the data. You want to know the data. You want to study the data. You want to look at your own individual circumstance, opinion, etc. And you want to form the best decision for you. You know, that's how I look at life. At middle age, I try to look at the science and the art of life, and I try to form the best decision for me. But the science does guide me a little bit. Like, right, would you think about getting a new car just after 2 years of having it? Well, again, if you had the science, if you had the data in your bank account to say, look, I could justify it, but it would still be a little bit wasteful based on the age. Okay. You could justify a lot of things for a lot of reasons based on science or art. You want to balance both. But now you have a number, 10 years. When should you get a new car? Every 10 years. Maybe for you, the science and the art of your life says every year, every month. Or maybe it says every 15 years. Everyone is on their own journey. But through sharing this information, sharing this video, sharing what are my thoughts and what are the average statistics, it gives you a baseline measurement for what to expect and what to think about. Do you not look at the back of a food label, or do you not look at a recipe? If you don't measure something, if you don't measure the sugar, if you don't measure the calories, if you don't measure things, you're just going by your gut instinct. And there's something to be said for that. However, what I've learned is you want to measure to at least know. You can add a pinch of salt. You can go off your instincts instead of measuring a teaspoon of salt. But you want to at least kind of have a general idea, a general statistic. So it's the balance of the two, guys. Your life will be better in your finances, in your, do you not think about 50% of people get divorced? Do you not think about the average lifespan of a marriage is 10 years? I think about that. I'm not even married. But you'd be a fool not to look at the science. Okay. Now, you may be too rigid to not listen to your gut and have just science. So again, everyone wants the answers to life, but the answers are fleeting. They're impossible to hold the truth, because the truth is somewhat not exact science. But through sharing, through knowing information, through being more educated without quote-unquote formal education, you become more informed. Hopefully we make wiser decisions. Now again, don't forget, behind every decision is emotion. Emotion cannot be measured through a mathematical formula. It's art. Okay. Fear, anger, love, none of those things have data. Okay. None of those things have data. They're just a gut feeling. And so obviously you don't want to be a robot. A robot has no emotion, but has a lot of math. Okay. But you don't want to be an emotional train wreck where you got a lot of passion but no purpose. You want to balance the two. This video helped you guys. I appreciate if you click that thumbs up. Think about clicking that blue join button to join my YouTube channel, be part of member-only chats. You'll get a custom badge and custom emojis. Check out my playlist for the couple thousand videos that I've done on a variety of life topics. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace and love.